Hello, folks, and welcome to another episode of Let's Play Minecraft Resonant Rise. I'm your host, Kieran Dave, and the creator of the Resonant Rise mod pack, and just one of many maintainers on a growing team. Uh, Welcome back, folks. It's been a week since I last recorded, but I have been diligently hard at work growing my base, doing some of the basic things that everybody just has to do as part of Minecraft. As you can see, Operation Make a Wall of Berries has come along swimmingly, and in fact, as I was sitting here preparing to record, a meteor of moonstone struck the ground right here in the middle of my... I don't currently have a tool that will cut that. As you can see, it struck right in the middle. I've also been working on Ars Magica and Thaumcraft 4. I'm ready to start Ars Magica on camera today. And Thaumcraft 4, I've been doing a little bit of research. And I made a, oh, this is so cool. I made a paving stone of travel, which is one of my favorite items. Because you can go zip, and now you're going super fast, and you can jump, and all these cool things. So they're awesome. Whee! I've also started working on Tinker's Construct. Now, the version of Tinker's Construct that we're using in the current beta mod pack is a little glitchy, so it's taken me a bunch of work, and as you can see, the rendering is not quite right. That's okay, though. We can work with it. I've been growing all sorts of things and using the conveniently placed lava nearby and all sorts of things. There's also a node, right? Well, where are you, node? There you are, right here. I really want to be able to tap it, but I can't because I don't know what it is. I can't figure it out. And when I go vrr, I don't see what happens, right? It's crazy. I don't know what it is. I'm hoping that one of these days I'm just going to drain it dry, and then I'll know what the node is, because I know that without more research I can't ever see it. Anyways, I've also grown the base a little bit inside, as you can see here. Whoa. As you can see, I've extended upstairs, and this is where I've been doing my Thaumcraft research. Indeed. And you can see I've got some stuff going on here. You know, we've got the Ordo, we've got the Earth node. No kidding. I'll start making some crystal clusters to help work with this. But I haven't made too much progress there because I've also been working on Tinker's Construct. And in fact, I was hoping that folks could help me out. You know, you guys could maybe... Whoa, no, I made an empty... Oh, no, that's not what I wanted to do. It's so easy to get that wrong. Okay, well, we can toss it in here. Like just a blank pattern. But yeah, so I was actually first going to make a slightly better pickaxe so that I could go deep and deep into the depths of the earth and not have to worry about breaking out regular iron or other valuable minerals. And probably get started on power generation today, and maybe a little bit more building. We'll have to see how things go. But I am certain of one thing. I'm very excited to get started with Ars Magica today, so we're definitely going to do that as well. But first, I'm thinking that I'm going to be working on my brand new, looks like maybe a tool here, just a pickaxe. I don't need a hammer yet. So to work on a pickaxe, I'm going to need the pieces. So I have a pickaxe head, a tool rod, I have a regular tool binding. So I should have everything I need. What I really need to do now is just get rid of the excess, let's see, here it is, the excess aluminum brass here, and just kind of, you know, well, nope, not what I wanted to do. Clean this up. Just make a little bit of a couple of ingots. So I'm going to do this off camera for just a sec, just to empty the sucker out. You know, I think that we're really close. I'm really close to tapping it all, but I need to be able to save this stuff because it is valuable. So yeah. Oh no, actually, it looks like we may be out. As you can see, there's a rendering bug where it won't. That's convenient. I didn't even realize it was almost done. Well, fantastic. Never mind. I'm not going to do it off camera. I did it on camera by accident. Looks delicious. Man, I love these paving stones of travel. They just make it so easy. I also, in the interim, set up something with a quartz grinder into a metallurgy iron furnace, which is much more efficient and faster. So it's really fantastic that way. Got some baked potatoes and, you know, other things. Yeah, it's generally, things have been going pretty well. Moved all my Tinker's Construct stuff out there. So let's see then. Why don't, let's work on finishing this up. So what do I want to make here? Let's take a look. Let's pull out the materials in U-Book. I have lots of iron. I have gold. What could I use for the various pieces of my material here? What I want is, I think I want an iron head. I think that's the best I can do right now without resorting to some tricks. Right, so I want iron. I would love to have something, maybe I could make some alumite. I would need to have a way to harvest obsidian. You know what? That's a better plan. Let's not go for a lousy tool. Except that, see, here's the problem I have. I'm going to waste 3 diamonds. You know what? let's just make one that is a basic stage thing. We'll make it cheap. So for that, we're just going to want, I don't know, let's say we want to make it with wood. I have a stick right here that'll do nicely. And then for a binding, why don't we also go with iron? So that should be sufficient. And then later on we can use that as well. All right. And then we're going to toss it, and then we're going to toss a diamond on this to make it, well, not an emerald, a diamond. We'll probably toss a diamond and an emerald on the other pick, the Alumite pick, because Alumite's actually pretty good. And you can get better ones, but, you know, we'll get to that. Let's see here. So what we'd like to do is toss into this, looks like we want 2 iron, and we'll just let that cook down for a second. While I'm doing that, what I'm going to want to do is pull out, well, we need to turn this, no, that should be fine. What we need to do is turn this into something worthwhile. So popping right over here, we're going to need a binding that is wood, tool binding pattern. And, well, actually, no, we just need a handle, don't we? We could use something else for the, what we need is a tool rod pattern and a stick. Wooden tool rod, no problem. That will be the finishing touch. This should be melting pretty fast, although unfortunately we won't see updates. So let's go ahead and grab the patterns we need. Tool binding, pickaxe head. We'll do the pickaxe head first. Are you done yet? No. Unfortunately, the GUI doesn't update, so I'll be right back as soon as this is done. There we are. So that's done. And this one should be done. Perfect. Okay, so with these pieces, it should be easy for me to now make a pickaxe that's pretty durable, and most importantly, it's not overcommitting. It's pretty easy to repair, right? It's a very, very simple tool, almost a starter tool, right? But we're going to make it better by upgrading it in classic style, as you've seen me do before, by adding on this. Now, we have so many emeralds in the pack that it's actually not outrageous to add emerald. But, you know, we only have a few modifiers. So what we're actually going to do instead is probably add redstone. So let's go ahead and pull out these, and maybe we'll add enough to get haste 1. Which, by the way, is no fun to watch. Wrong one. So maybe I will just do this off camera. See, because we should have 2 modifiers left. Oh, one modifier left. Well, that's fine then. Let's just do this. This is our mining tool. I'll be right back, folks. Okay, so that's a little bit better now. Now I can mine these up easily. Oh yeah, that's so fast. It's fantastic. And oh yeah, that's right. There's a big empty hole down here. Well, let's just patch it up with a little bit of cobble, just for safety's sake. I wonder if the berries will grow on cobble. Looks like they will. So now what I need to do is just pick up a little bit of water here and, of course, here. Seems to have messed up the water there. I'm not really sure how. It was surrounded on all 4 sides. I wonder if that's just served away. Oh well. So, and there's this great volcano biome nearby me, which I originally, if you remember 2 episodes ago, said that will be very good. I'm going to make good on that now. What we're going to do is hop over here, see if we can find a couple good lava source blocks, and produce some obsidian. Now, I need obsidian for a whole bunch of different things. A lot of mobs are pretty hungry for it, actually, because it's, you know, something you have. It's something pre-nether, but after everything else. So let's see here. How about you? You have anything worth looking at? Oh yeah, there we go. Wow. Oh, look at all that appetite. That's not messing around. Okay, cool story. Let's get this. And just like that, obsidian. On to the next. Now, as we're walking, I'll note that I've done some exploring. There's a flower biome off over this way, and a really, really interesting looking mountain biome up here, or volcano biome. And this ash block is so cool. You walk slow on it. There's all sorts of neat things going on over here. There's also a slime island directly above us, although it's tough to see because of the cloud cover. I gotta go around, don't I? Right. But yeah, I I may actually start moving my base over here. There's also a hot spring biome a little bit further along, which I'm headed for right now. But I love this biome, and I don't actually see a lot of people playing it. Usually, it's kind of a rarer biome, but it has a lot of nice properties, and it's just cool looking, right? Of course, you can reproduce it by double fertilizing red and yellow flowers, but that's sort of not the point. The point is that it's just a really cool place, and there's lots of kind of interesting terrain gen going on around here. All right, I think there's another nice patch of lava and quite the mining opportunity in this. Once I have, well, right now I have more ore than I know what to do with, and that's probably something else we're going to have to solve pretty soon. Oop, ouch. Could maybe use some rubber boots to deal with that. So let's see, where was that lava? Aha, over here. Folks, I'm going to take care of this and be right back. All right, folks, I made it back to my base. But there's still a zombie horde waiting for me here. Gonna have to go out and deal with it. Fortunately, my trusty door defense mechanism has been pretty good. Whoa, right into my house. The only problem with that paving stone of travel is that it lets them come in pretty strong. So as you can see, I basically just had to break my sword off in them. Ugh. Really? Fine, come in. Come on in. Alright, folks. Well, that's all cleared up now. Ugh. Zombies everywhere. So, let's see. What was I doing? Oh, yes. Before that little interruption, it was my plan. Oh, perfect. To build a thing from a friend of mine. And if you've watched my channel, you've seen him. And he has a channel that's still, to this day, bigger than mine, despite the fact that he's not much of a broadcaster anymore. I'm going to start with blood magic. Blood magic is by Way of Time. Way of Time is a super cool guy who isn't afraid of anything. Also, he's decided to go and make the, he wants to make the magic mod that everybody else is afraid to make, is what I figure he's doing, because he's doing something crazy. His mod is just one of the most difficult and probably rewarding magic mods out there. And I say that in the knowing full well how Thaumcraft works. Thaumcraft is not, especially the new research system, it's not the easiest mod in the world, right? And yet, let's see, I need a knife. Here we are. I need this special knife. The most interesting thing about his mod is that it is a very powerful mod that actually tries to balance that power in the context of a mixed mod pack. You know, he knows us. He knows the project. He's worked with me on the project on more than one occasion. So he knows all about like the challenges we face, and he tries to balance his mod in such a way that it's not going to step on anybody else's toes, which is nice of him. But it's also unapologetically powerful and has a power ceiling that's probably eventually going to be greater than Equivalent Exchange 2's. Now, unlike Equivalent Exchange 2, which is based on the power of items, this one's based on the power of your personal life. So while we're doing this, while we're talking about this, why don't I take about half this wheat, crush it up into flour with my bare hands, grrr, yeah, and then get that cooked up, because I'm going to need food, something fierce. I already got some here. I'm all full up. Maybe I should just step outside really quick and grab some berries to keep myself topped off. Yes, berries to keep myself topped off. Seems like a good plan because I'm about to seriously hurt myself. So here we go. What we need now is one more diamond. So as I go throughout this, hopefully I can show you how this all works and give you guys kind of a plan, because I know that a lot of people don't know how to play blood magic. It plays so differently from most mods, magic mods, that does take a little bit of work. Ouch. So I right-click to prick myself with this, right? And this will slowly empty out my life and put it over in the altar, which will then begin to percolate. And those little red squigglies mean that it's working. Now, of course, I need to keep my hunger topped off, because this mod hurts. This mod, especially until you get it upgraded, it hurts quite a bit. And we can't upgrade it yet, so yeah. Whoa, we don't want to kill ourselves, but we do want to make sure that this thing stays full of blood. He calls it life points, but let's face it, I got a knife, pulling it out. I am letting my veins onto this altar, and the purpose of letting my veins onto this altar, power, unashamed. As an apprentice like this, you know, it's not too bad. There we go. So now I have made a weak blood orb. Weak blood orb. Beep. Ouch. Now, the weak blood orb is basically the introduction to the mod, and it is sort of my power storage network. So let's go ahead and take the rest of this blood and toss it in there. So it's just going to kind of empty out. Yes, excellent. Let's leave a little bit of that in there. The weak blood orb is basically what's happening now is I have a well of magical power, and every time I make one of these orbs, I expand it. And there's all these different tiers of orbs. Now, what I'm doing is putting, by creating this weak blood orb, I made it the first tier. I can only hold a few thousand life points in my network. But once the blood drains out of this altar of the orb, well, that's it. I have this power associated with me. So the first thing we should do is make that power visible. Forgive me as I pause, I'm sipping tea. I live in California, in San Francisco actually, and it's positively freezing here with high wind speeds and temperatures that, you know, it looks like it's 40 on the thermometer or 48, but it's actually like really cold and gross to step outside. Anyways, so what we need to make first is sigils. So these are all the various sigils that you can see here. There's all sorts of great ones here, but I think the most important one here is the divination sigil to start, which is just glass, this blank slate, which is infused stone instead of blood altar, right? And the weak blood orb. So let's go ahead and top off our network, right? Because we will need to make sure we have power in the network. And we'll keep ourselves very, very healthy while we gather up the things we need. So we're going to need some more, I'm kind of low on sand. Why don't we go grab some while that finishes? Is it night? Oh yeah, we definitely don't want to step outside in our weakened state. But so I think the next thing we'll do is grab some sand, get that going. And I'm also going to start on Ars Magica because this magic takes your life to do extremely powerful things. Now, what I could do is use other external magic from the mod to make it easier for me to use this magic. And in particular, I want to start learning defensive spells from Ars, both because, as you have seen, the world is a terribly, horribly hostile place, right? Like, it's just crazy how many zombies are coming around. But then also, I can learn regenerations magic, which will make it much easier to charge up my blood networks. Later on, it's not so hard at all. But early on, you know, it's a little bit tricky just because as time goes on, you can find ways to increase the harvest of your blood altar. But when you start out, it's really quite low, and you definitely want to have more power than we have available. And I'll show you a couple of the ways, because one of the things that I think is not well documented about the mod, but is really cool, is that we can actually pipe. That's right, we can pipe the blood out of the altar, right? And then turn it, come on, pop up. We can turn it into a liquid and a tank. And then we can use tanks as our external storage, which we're going to do very soon. But looks like that blood's drained away. Looks like this is not cooking right now, so let's go ahead and toss these in and get some more glass going because we'll need it in a sec. I do have some stone on me, which is the next thing we're going to be infusing. So let's go ahead and, well, not throw that away, but pop this off. We need an empty hand. Pop this off right here, okay? And now I can't see what it is, but if I were to right-click it, you can see that it still hurts me. So it's, you know, it's bound to Kieran Dave, but you could rebind it to someone else, and someone else could let their blood off in this altar. So let's go ahead and toss in a piece of stone, right? I'm pretty sure this works. And then if you can see it begins to cook. Now what we're doing here is making a slate. And I think the initial slates are really quite inexpensive, which is good because it'd be challenged. There we go. Barely any blood used. Why don't we see if we can toss another one in? And maybe I can show you what happens when you don't have enough blood. But with this, so now let's see, how are we doing over here? Yeah, we got enough. So with this, what we can do is make our nice, I should make a clipboard. Let's go ahead and make this our divination sigil, not signal. Come on, Dave. It looks like it's not going to quite work that way, so let's just go like this, and then like this. Right. So this is actually going to cost me some life. If I don't have enough power, it will hurt me and maybe kill me. Especially given the fact that I'm really in fact, I'm a little worried about that. So let's just, before we pull the trigger on that, let's just eat and let myself heal up a little bit. And it looks like we didn't have enough power in the altar to actually finish that transmutation. Unfortunately, I missed it. But okay, let's see what happens here. Okay, I didn't die. Excellent. So now this divination sigil, if I use it, just kind of, you know, around, it'll tell me how much blood is in the altar. Oh, yes. I need to... So you can see Forge IRC on here. So we have current essence of 3,000 LP, and there's none in the altar. Sorry that you're seeing the IRC chat here. Try not to, go to that server. Or do. They're the ones saying it publicly. So now we can see when I did a few hearts to my own damage, it put 505 life points. There we go. Boop. And now I have another sigil. And you gotta say, Dave, why do you want another one? Well, it turns out that there's some other really awesome things we can do. Can't make this yet. That's one I really want. But we can make this and this. And both of these are really fantastic. This one makes water out of nowhere, which is fairly cheaply. This one makes lava out of nowhere, and that's pretty expensive. But that's actually not what I'm after. What I'm after is this guy right here. And one of the reasons I grabbed obsidian, right, is that this will let me make a lava crystal. This is really exciting. Now, I wish that it would warn me how much it's going to cost, but whatever. So let's go ahead and how many buckets do I have on me? Just this one, and just the one with that. So we need one more bucket. I think I have another bucket lying around. If not, it's trivial to make it. Let's go ahead and make it. Now, with a volcano biome nearby, it's a little frivolous to go randomly making lava, but for the lava crystal, that's a super useful item, and we'll get into why in just a sec. Let's dump that out. Let's open this up. Should probably put a switch there, but it might be annoying to step on. I should come out here and maybe cut things down. So while I'm running over here doing this boring thing, I thought maybe I'd mention that I got a bunch of feedback in my last episodes about how I should play. 1, 2, 3 buckets of lava. I haven't used this for obsidian because it's so convenient to have a big pool of lava nearby. There's a bunch in my mine shaft too. I haven't used those yet. Well, my plan is to play this as a techno mage. I'm going to be using technology from a lot of my infrastructure, and I'm going to try and be using magic for most of my handheld equipment, and for a lot of the ways I solve problems. So just in general, if I can solve a problem with magic, I will, and if not, I'll use technology. And I think that there'll be a lot of places where I need to use technology to solve things, so I'm happy that there's kind of this medium, this middle ground here. Such delicious tea. Okay, so here I have the bread. As you can see, we're already just tearing through food because of this mod. Some people have expressed a little concern about the creepy factor of this mod, in the sense that it's a little creepy, right? And I can kind of see that. Here you can see we're charging up our orb. It is creepy. We're, hurting ourselves. I don't think that the average person will think that by hurting themselves they can gain power in some sort of eldritch ritual. Or, if they do, they probably had problems to begin with. So I'm not too concerned about it, but some folks are very concerned about it sending the wrong message, that self-harm and yada, 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 whatever. So let's go ahead and set everything up here. Right here. So we want a lava crystal. So we're going to need, wow, it just doesn't even want to put anything in there, does it? We're going to need 6 buckets of lava? Oh, wow. I'm dumb. Let me go grab the things for this. I'll be right back. All right, sorry about that, folks. Just had to get the things I needed. So, and then I got a little bit interrupted. So what we need to do is make a lava crystal. Unfortunately, these recipes don't seem to shift-click in any eye very well. I guess probably that's just part of the mod. I don't know. But it's an easy enough recipe set to set up. Put our weak blood or our catalyst of magic in the beginning, and I think we put glass on the tops. 1, 2. There we go. So this is a lava crystal. Boop. And as we can see, I went from a 5,000 LP, a full pool for my mageness. Well, I guess a 6,000 down to 5,000. So used a little bit. But now I have a lava crystal. This is pretty cool. Check this out. So if I toss this in here instead of the coal, and then let's say I run over, well, actually, I think I first need to right-click it once to bind it to me. Yeah. There we go. I right-clicked it. Now it's bound to me. It says current owner is Kieran Dave. So now this will actually use the power of my soul network to run things and anything that could burn. And it works in almost anything that could burn, right? So watch, there it goes. Now, if I sit here and I go like this, when I look, well, it seems to be taking 25 life points per smelted item. So even a small network can go a long, long way. Every 4 objects is 100 LP, so, I can do a lot. Fantastic. Now, if it won't kill me if I run out of LP, but I will start to get hurt. And so I can refill it pretty easily by just tossing stuff there. And so that's pretty much like, that's the beginning of what I want to do. In order to upgrade this, we're going to have to do a little bit of work. But as you can see, it's a lot of work to keep my health filled. So probably what I'm going to do before I can, whoa, I don't want to, I don't even know what that would do. Probably what I want to do before we continue with this is I'd like to, well, yeah. I think the best thing to do is to get started with Ars Magica. Let's see. I happen to have one piece of leather. You know what, let me just, this is a little ridiculous. What else can I toss? Actually, not much else. Wow. I guess we can get rid of these things. And let's grab a book. Got plenty of sticks. Let's pop over here. And you know what, while we're at it, I'm tired of these things. So let's grab some more. Let's grab this iron, and we have some wood on us. I could grab some out of here. Because we do need the charcoal, but not that badly. Okay, so we're going to actually make 2 clipboards before we continue. And I'm not getting distracted. I'm going to do the next thing next. So this is the Dartcraft clipboard, which should be easy enough. This is a better version, Craft Like a Dart. Well, I will. This is the, this is the Bibliocraft clipboard, which is also a very useful tool, and you'll see why in a second. Let's grab one of these. I also happen to find one of these. Folks asking, hey Dave, why aren't you using Dartcraft? Is it op or something? I don't think it's actually op. I'm just not doing it. I've done it before. I did it recently in a private game. Just don't feel like it. What do I need here? This is a pressure plate? Well, okay, I can do a pressure plate, I guess. How about now? There we go. So you've probably seen me use the Dartcraft one before. It's super useful. It makes Dartcraft basically essential, indispensable. I don't know why everybody doesn't do it this way. But here's the clipboard. This is my plans for winning. I think this is just such a cute little object to have. Bibliocraft has so many funny little things that no one else would think to put in. I love this mod. So what are we going to do next? We're going to set up Ars Magica. And then what are we going to do after that? Well, we're going to learn some dang magic. Looks like that's maybe a little bit too long. Just some magic. Right? And then we want to upgrade our blood altar. What's called our BA. And then I think probably we want to get ore processing. We'll actually get power for ore and process ores. Yeah, seems like a pretty good list of things to do. Let's see if we can finish it up in this episode, huh? All right, set up Ars Magica. The first thing we need for that, well, we want to go outside. So we're going to want to sleep. I'll take this pause to sip my tea. Hello, Resonant Rise, by the way. As you can see, they're out there having a great time. I mentioned that we put you on IRC. I turned it off for a while, then I turned it back on because I thought it might be fun, but it also gets in the way of the chat, so we'll see if I leave it on. But if you hit F3, you toggle through it, and I can just say, by the way, hello to everyone in. I am recording. We'll see if they respond or not. Right, so let's see. Let's just refill this a little bit, and we should be in good shape this way. Now, you know what I'm going to need? I'm going to need a backpack soon. This is going to need cows. Okay, my network is topped off. So let's go ahead, pop out this piece of stone for now, and let's leave this in here. You know, while we're here, let's do one thing before we go. I have all these tools, and some of them I don't necessarily want to put in chests. So one of the things I like to do is make these little shelves. Well, these are bookshelves, right? So I actually want to do, what is it? Shelf? Let's see, like these regular shelves. So let's see. We want a, what we want to do is this, and then toss this here, like that. Now we can just kind of set this over in the corner, maybe right there. Well, that's kind of weird, but you know, whatever. We'll put our divination sigil, don't need it right now. We'll put our sacrifice dagger right there, you know, just kind of storing it. And everything else can, well, can we toss these in here? We can. Perfect. That's so cool. This is another example of just why I love bibliocraft. All right, I have taken the liberty of, ahead of time, going out, let's see what I put, and grabbing some wooden buckets full of liquid essence from Ars Magica. Now, to get started with Ars, it's actually pretty simple. What you need to do is you need to go ahead and make an item frame, which as I recall is sticks around a piece of leather. Kind of a waste of leather in my opinion, but you know. And then you go ahead and we'll dig a little hole in our floor, which I will probably reduce in. Put down this stuff. And then we put a, well, that's not what we want to do. That would be the end of the world if we set off a chain reaction here in our base. Ugh, I ain't like thinking about it. And then we just toss a book right here. I sort of love this effect. So let's see, that oh, power. 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 Well, okay, you take your time, book. Jeez, keep the viewers waiting. Well, so one of the things, by the way, I wanted to point out about this is that all the metallurgy machines and many generators from other mods run off of burning things. And the lava crystal here is an awesome way to power them. You should definitely, I think I have to stare at it, don't I? You should definitely consider using this blood magic to power, and we will be using it to power other things, because you can actually use its power to like do amazing stuff, right? It's kind of crazy. It can power IC2, it can power buildcraft. You could run a quarry off of this, right? And of course, you could run a boiler. I know people in the Resonant Rise channel who have done that. It's crazy. Now, I'm not sure that you should run a boiler off of it, because I'm pretty sure that if you make a mistake, you're going to end up regretting it quite a bit. But that doesn't mean that you can't. And once you become an archmage in blood magic with all sorts of power, because we start with 5,000, but you know, over 1 million LP is entirely possible if you want to set it up, and you can actually make your reserves as big as you want to make them. Eventually, you have to build pretty complex build to make it, but it scales up to as big as your computer can handle. So, with that in mind, I heartily encourage you to start with this mod. Do what I did. You saw you just need a few diamonds and Resonant Rise. That's no problem at all. So you can just leap right in and get started. Let's toss it. Well, I guess we can't, huh? I guess we can't put it in there. Well, it'll go in here. I guess sort of where other things go, like this. And we could toss these extra lava buckets. I don't need another lava crystal yet, but it's there and ready. I'm just going to turn off that for a little bit, just because it's a little distracting over there in the corner. Okay, so now we have this Ars book. Delightful. Delightful. Your first spell. That's what we'll be doing next. We're going to need to make, according to this, your first spell, we're going to need to make an oculus and an inscription table. Okay, no problem. What does it take to make an oculus? Well, I need a blue topaz. I think I got plenty of that. I need stone bricks and coal. Well, huh. Do I just have everything I need for that on hand? Pretty sure I have some blue topaz. Pretty sure I have some coal. What I need to do is make a wee bit of stone. How much did I need? I needed 3. Oh, that's cool, because I can just do like this. Ta-da! And then I needed a piece of glass, right? Well, I got that. I have everything I need. Oh, all-knowing NEI. Tell me the... Oh, boom. Oculus. Similarly, I need an inscription table, it said. What is that? That shouldn't be too hard. Ooh, elemental inscription tool. Let's see. I need a little bit of this. I need a spell parchment, which is just sticks and paper. I need a feather. I think the only thing I'm not carrying with me at this exact moment is a feather. Well, and it's probably some paper. Let's go ahead and grab a feather. Let's go ahead and, well, we got plenty of paper. We got plenty of sticks. All right, so we can go like this. Let's grab, let's grab a few of these. We're probably going to need a bunch, right? Because that's where our spells come into play. And then we also probably want to make the tabletop as we need it. And that goes, well, no, that goes here. We do one here, one here. A single torch, wooden, of course. And this. Whoa, no! Oh, I clicked so fast. What was it again? Oh, that's why. Well, you know, you can never have too many desks, right? Right? Where am I even going to put that desk? My house is so small. I have to deal with myself. That's almost worse than the zombie hordes. All right, so let's put this up here in our study room, our glass-floored study room, which I should probably replace this with clear glass. Wouldn't it look cooler? I think so. Well, that's not going to work. Let's go ahead and put it there. Okay, cool. And our Oculus et Infernes can go here. Now, I think, oh, yes. Oh, that's so cool. Man, I love this thing. This is like the coolest thing. Okay, so what we want is we have defense, offense, defense, and utility. I think utility is what we want to start with. We want to work towards defense, but also we want to level up our magic quickly. So I think what we can do is make our first spell today. Let's see, and then we'll start with self. And then, well, so what we need to do now is make a spell. Let's see here. Let's go over here and toss in, I think we toss in an empty book. Is that right? Yeah. What we need for that is a quill or another feather. So I'm definitely going to have to come up with a feather solution pretty fast here. Maybe I will use Darkcraft for that, because certainly Darkcraft makes it easier to set that up and fewer resources overall. But it might be fun not to. We'll have to think. Maybe I can find some clever way to get more feathers. Because there isn't a recipe for feathers. No, of course not. What we need to do is make a book. And I think for that, for this writable book and quill, we just need some dark dye. I say just, but actually squid ink is kind of a pain to get. You can see we're nearly out. I use it for Thaumcraft too. So I may need to figure out a particularly clever solution there before things get bad. So let's do this. Don't I have a book? No? Did I not grab one? That's because I'm spacey. So let's see. Where are the books lying? There they are. Toss this, this, and this. Writable book. Now I could, of course, write whatever I want in there, but I'm not. Instead, I choose to toss this in here. So what we want is a touch dig spell. So let's go ahead and say touch, touch, dig. What shall we name this? Let's name this, we need a suitably, how about stone fingers? Because it's like, wow, and we'll go right through the wall. Okay, so now I think if I pull this out, yes, I now have Stone Fingers by Kieran Dave. And it's actually readable. It tells you all the things that you need. In this case, we need touch and dig, clay, feather, vintium dust, an iron shovel, a raw fish. Huh. Well, that's the most complicated thing. An iron shovel, iron pickaxe, orange rune, all those things are pretty easy. Obviously, we're going to need to make some vintium dust. It just so happens, ooh, look, my ooey's there, just realized. Just so happens that not only do I have free smelting now, but I also have 31 vintium dust, which is only a few hundred LP and easy enough. I guess what I need to do, you know, also, we can put this right here. Can I put this right here? That's so cool. Okay, so next part of setting up Ars Magica will be a place to make the spells. So we need to make structures, the crafting altar. Now this is a whole bunch of different things, right? And there's a whole bunch of different recipes you can use. This is pretty cool, right? Isn't this cool? Witchwood, that seems awesome. Iron, wow. I wonder how, I don't even know. So the structure available in two main groups, the caps and the metal. Both are individually increased in power. So wood, planks, and stone give +1 effects. Sandstone, bricks, witchwood gives +3 effects. So I should probably take the time, even if I'm going to move this, to go out and chop down a witchwood tree, right? Because otherwise things get tricky. And then we probably want to use, you don't want to use emerald blocks, although we could in theory, but we would like to use a strong baseline material. So let's go ahead and draft up some, I'm going to go look for a witchwood tree, and I'm going to probably go fishing, right? Because next thing on our list is take care of this, and we want to take care of it. Let's see, I need to go fishing. I don't think I've ever really fished it for any reason. And we also have, folks, I will be right back, and we will go fishing. Here we are. This is a witchwood tree. Let's go ahead and chop this sucker down. And you can see I'm using a little bit of Darkcraft. Actually, maybe I'll take a second while I'm chopping this tree down to mention it. I'm very sad at how much people are bullying Blue Dart about his mod. Every mod is voluntary. And for people to be so nasty to him as to constantly, he literally gets harassed on his channel. Or on his, both his channel, I guess, and particularly in the Minecraft forums, by people calling off. Now, it's ridiculous because people have been crying about how bad the vanilla fortune is, basically forever, right? And then for us to come along, he makes a new variety of enchanting that is difficult to tune and balance. And he listens to everybody, he does what he needs to do. He makes a variety of enchanting that takes power, it takes a special mineable only material that's hard to find in the overworld and really only found in the nether. He does all the things right? Everything that you would think would be right to do, and people are still angry at him. He moves the flight all the way up to the very end of his mod, even though his flight was more balanced than most mods' flight, including, not just that, but not limited to, basically ours has more powerful flight. Industrial Craft 2 has better flight. And it wasn't even easier to get. And yet, for some reason, his mod is op and everybody wants to gang up on him because at one time he had some balancing issues. And, he was also a new modder. He was picking things up. He was learning as he went. And everybody just gave him such a hard time. And it made me really angry to watch because he didn't deserve that. And I'm really, really sad that that's just the culture of the Minecraft forums these days. There's all this really, really nasty way that people want to go about talking about other modders. And these modders, they're doing things for the love of it, right? They're doing things for fun. You can't get mad at them for not doing exactly what you want, right? Similarly, folks who are mad at iChun about Morph and how Morph makes flight more accessible, well, then don't use the mod. That's all there is to it. If it's fun for you, that's fantastic. And to be honest, really accessible flight and water breathing that's slow, really not that. Speaking of easily accessible, these easily accessible squids are going to get my easily accessible sword. Yes. Okay. Like I was saying, easily accessible flight and water breathing don't ruin the game. And anybody who says they do is wrong. It's that simple. And it's not fair to sit around bullying folks because they're not doing mods the way you want. I think it's shameful, and I'm personally ashamed to be part of a community that likes to mess with people so much, and that likes to have this "I know everything and you don't even remotely understand" mentality. There are mods out there that I don't like, and I don't like them because they do things that are wrong. But I don't get angry at the owner or the author of the mod. I just don't use them. For example, I don't think Harvestcraft is a very well-designed mod. I think it actually does exactly the opposite of what it tries to do. And I've voiced those concerns before, but I don't go harassing the modder about it. I don't try and badmouth her behind her back or even in front of her back. I just say it's not the mod for me. And I made a mod pack full of the mods for me, right? It just makes me sad. Okay, we're back in town here. We're back where we need to be. Where are we going to put this altar, huh? Where are we going to put this altar? It seems to me like it could go right out here. It would probably fit quite nicely. Now, as I recall, it needs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a 5 by 5 base. So let's go ahead and lay out the base. It would need 20 planks if it's got a 5 by, or 25 planks, unfortunately, to do this. Okay, so let's see what we can do here. Because we don't want it to be totally in the way, but we kind of actually are good on berries. I don't know if you've noticed, but I have a few berries. So we can probably replant these elsewhere and keep growing our hedge maze. because it's pretty good now, right? Like actually, even over there, I don't really get attacked from this side anymore. As soon as I can get warding paving stones or put a door there or something, that's going to be just fine. All right. So let's see if we have one, two, three. We'll have to maybe move this wall or move these. No problem. These are easy to move. Well, I'm pretty hungry, huh? I sort of stopped eating as I was worrying mostly about my life from blood magic, and I remembered, oh yeah, huh, I have to eat anyways. All right, folks, let me set up the base for this altar, and then I'll be right back. Ta-da! So I opted for glass blocks for now, just to keep things simple, because I have witchwood as my altar base, and that's better than I usually use. So for the beginning spells, that will be more than sufficient. And since I'm probably eventually going to move this into a sky base within, you know, the next 5 or 6 episodes, it should be just fine. And oh, I need to do one quick thing. I'm actually out of cobble, so between episodes, I'm going to have to go grab a little bit. But just need 1 or 2 pieces right here. Oh, so good to have a nicer pick. All we have to do is this. And then I need to make some illusion, or rather some magic blocks and a crafting altar. Now, a crafting altar is easy. It's just Vintium dust and stone. You can also see that we can make all sorts of other interesting things, like caster runes and who even knows what, right? All these things. So cool. But this is the other thing we need. So we need stone and Vintium dust. Guess what I have been cooking over in the corner? Stone and Vintium dust. What a coincidence. It's almost like I knew what I was doing. Huh? Huh? So check this out. Let's do like this. And pull up the crafting altar. Now, what we want to do is put this in the middle. And that gets us 16, which is actually, I think, more than enough for now. So let's go ahead. And we just need to go 1, 2, 3 there. And these are really cool. Oh man, look at how cool that is. Oh, that's freaking amazing. And then finally, we toss this right up here. And there we go. Now, it turns out, it occurs to me that we're currently testing the Mariculture mod, and that fishing is actually a little bit more of an ordeal than I realized. Given that, I'm going to push it to the next episode. We'll get to actually doing the book soon. Oh, let's not call it prematurely complete, as we need to toss a lever right here. Ta-da! And that doesn't really interfere with me leaving. I can leave right there. Fantastic. So I'm going to hop off camera, folks, and do some other stuff, and of course, I will be back with you next time. If you like this episode, I don't know how, but let's just say that you did. Your decision. You should click the subscribe button if you haven't already, because I'm going to be making more of them. If you don't like it, don't click the subscribe button, because I'm going to be making more of these. You should also check out the Resonant Rise mod pack. We're all working very hard on it. Exciting things are happening. We're growing all the time. There are more and more YouTubers. If you're a YouTuber and you're interested in doing a collaboration for a Let's Play, let me know. There are lots of people coming to me, more than I can possibly join. So what I'd like you to do is let me know, and I'll see if I can network up people who are interested. No, I can't learn anything. And we'll take it from there, right? So maybe we could get something going. Some other folks have agreed to join the project and do Let's Play videos. There's also some very exciting detail coming up from Korjanche that I'll link at the bottom. He's doing this Resident Refugee to Rising Regent, or I don't know, Rising Regent to, I don't know. They have this interesting game with rules that's a little bit more complicated than the usual game of Minecraft, and that they're going through. He's putting out all sorts of stuff from that, and we'll have more on that soon. So yeah, like, subscribe. If you didn't like it, go ahead and leave me a nasty comment that I will delete. And yeah, thanks for watching, folks. I'll see you next time.